A developing story today. NOAA is tracking the latest from the region.
From Neural Newscast, I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Oliver Grant. Today is March 13th, 2026.
Explosions rocked central Tehran earlier today during the annual Al-Quds Day rallies. Iranian state television reported at least one death after multiple blasts were heard near Ferdowsi Square. The attack occurred as thousands gathered in the streets to show support for Palestinians. According to Press TV, a woman was killed by shrapnel. The strike took place despite warnings from the Israeli military for civilians to vacate the area.
The Israel Defense Forces have confirmed they carried out strikes across several Iranian cities. These include Tehran, Shiraz, and Ahvaz. Operations targeted missile production facilities, command centers, and air defense infrastructure. It is a significant expansion of the air campaign that began on February 28th. In Shiraz, the IDF claims it hit an underground facility used for storing ballistic missiles.
While the strikes were underway, senior Iranian officials appeared in public. President Masoud Pezeshkian and security official Ali Larijani were both seen marching in the capital. Larijani addressed the crowds, stating that the Iranian people remained determined despite increasing pressure. This defiance comes as the health ministry reports that 1,444 people have been killed in the country since this war started just 2 weeks ago.
Looking at the system-level decisions, the IDF is hitting high-value production hubs. Simultaneously, the IRGC is attempting to manage internal security. There is a clear gap between the regime's claims of invulnerability and the reality of precision strikes hitting central command posts in Ahvaz. The coordination between ground forces and internal security seems to be a primary target for dismantling control over Western provinces.
The labor and personnel dynamics of the conflict are shifting as well. The United States is now deploying roughly 2,500 Marines and at least one additional warship to the Middle East. This surge follows the deaths of 6 crew members on a U.S. refueling plane that crashed in Iraq. This mobilization adds to an already heavy U.S. military presence as the Pentagon attempts to secure regional assets.
This U.S. movement follows a specific pattern of escalation. Earlier today, Donald Trump posted on social media threatening the total destruction of the Iranian regime. He claimed the Iranian Navy and Air Force have been largely decimated. While the rhetoric is high, the operational reality is that Iran has already responded. They launched solid-fuel Khaybar-Shekhan missiles and drones toward Israeli targets, coordinating with Hezbollah in Lebanon.
The IRGC described these solid-fuel missiles as precision-guided weapons. This technical capability suggests that despite strikes on production facilities, Iran's immediate inventory remains operational. They have also maintained the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. This continues to block about 20% of the world's oil supply, creating a massive bottleneck for global trade and energy markets.
It is also worth noting the internal pressure within Iran. The Revolutionary Guards have warned that any domestic protests will be met with a response even more painful than that was seen in January. They are currently preparing for the funeral of IRGC Commander Mohammad Pakpour in Iraq. The regime is trying to utilize these ceremonies to consolidate support while security systems are visibly under strain.
In Tehran, the atmosphere remains volatile. Images from the rallies show participants stepping on American and Israeli flags. Despite the presence of high-ranking officials, the volume of smoke rising over the city from the airstrikes provides a stark contrast to the government's message of resilience. Vice President Mohammad Reza Arif was seen visiting besieged checkpoints following reports of drone attacks on those sites.
We are seeing a system where the official explanation is one of strength, but the observed behavior is defensive. The IDF released footage appearing to show strikes on those very besieged checkpoints. As long as the U.S. and Israeli governments show no signs of halting this offensive, the risk of a regional collapse increases. The gap between surgical strikes and the reality of explosions in city squares is narrowing.
International pressure for de-escalation is growing, but for now, the military and political leaders on all sides are doubling down. We will continue to monitor the movements of the 500 Marines as they arrive in the theater and the impact of the ongoing blockade in the Gulf.
From Neural Newscast, I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Oliver Grant.
Neural Newscast is AI-assisted and human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.